Now, time for me to rebound. It's time to talk about Silence of the Lambs.
Okay. I know I'm going against the grain on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I need to get my get back, is what they call it in the league.
Here's a few things. I didn't actually like Jodie Foster. I thought her accent was just retarded.
My girlfriend really didn't like the accent either.
I mean, it just seemed over. She just didn't do it very well. Do you remember the scene where she went and visited some bug guys?
Vaguely.
And, like, the one guy's, like, kind of hitting on her. And he looks like a freak. And, like, his eyes aren't even synchronized. And it just, that whole scene, I mean, she should have said, hey, weirdo, I'm just trying to find out about bugs for a case. You know, I am never, ever going to go out with you. But she kind of gives him the time of day. I mean, you always feel bad for the guy. He looks like a fucking idiot.
Well,
and I know that
she puts up with Lecter, who is like trying to psychoanalyze.
She's not going to go out with him. Okay.
Well, she's not going to go with the other
she kind of gave him the impression she could possibly.
Girls sometimes
look up when you have a chance.
You know how many cops have women that are very interested in them when they're getting a ticket? I know I mumbled over that really badly, but women are very good at flirting if it suits their needs. No offense, women, but you all are manipulative, and you're liars. No, but if you're a woman and you're listening to this,
manipulative.
I know you love being called a woman, but we appreciate your support. If you could send 1,000.
Oh, we forgot to talk about. I came up with a jingle. The Human Fund for Humans.
I like that.
Isn't that good?
I like
it's
the
like
ending.
Menin. Like Menin by Menin. Older people will know what that is.
I've heard that before.
Okay, but so...
It's my money and I need it now. That's what I say.
Well, we wish it were our money, but...
Well, send us the humans. Money,
it's the humans. These...
Well, who can say they
selfish
dislike humans?
Listeners, no offense, aren't supporting these...
Well, spread the wealth.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you need, really?
You probably need a lot less than you think you do.
Yeah, you could part with a couple hundred a day.
Don't eat meat, right?
Meat?
Don't eat... I'm telling them ways to save money to send to us.
Oh, don't eat meat. I thought you were saying donate meat.
Or that.
Well, if it's beef jerky, that does ship well.
Yeah, that does. But then, they got the dry ice things. There's so many... No coffees. Don't drink the expensive coffee.
Oh, coffee's... That's a scam.
It is a scam. It really... You think it tastes good, and it really doesn't.
Dave Ramsey doesn't drink coffee.
Look at him. He's pretty well-to-do.
I think he's a homosexual openly, too, so...
But that's...
You should take advice from him.
There. I think it's more the money thing we're mostly interested in.
Oh, well, yeah.
Anyhow, we'll get back to... So we were talking about Silence of the Lambs.
And here's another thing while we're talking about viewers. What I can tell from the statistics is apparently controversy is not good for the channel. So I'll go with something safe just for us to riff off of. Israel and Palestine is going on right now. And both sides are bad, doing bad stuff. And people are dying.
So we're against that.
Well, we have a side that we like. We're not going to tell you which, but it probably coincides with the side you like. But this is so we avoid controversy. You see?
I don't.
Do you understand?
I don't.
People don't like controversial subjects. They don't like to listen to it.
So is that why you bring them up? You thought that would be
No,
a
I
good
thought
idea?
this would be the safest thing to dive into.
Let's talk about which religion is the right one.
We could talk about that next.
That's Episcopalian.
Yeah,
you ever
they
get
believe
that on a test?
they believe in a giant fish, right? Or they don't eat fish. I don't remember.
It's pescatarians are vegetarians that also eat fish. I think is what
pescatarians? Episcopalians.
Yeah, I know, but Episcopalians don't believe in a big fish.
Why don't they eat fish? Or why do they only eat fish?
That's a pescatarian.
I don't believe that. I've never heard that word.
Well, it's the real word.
I think all vegetarians should eat fish. You have to get some meat.
Well, you know what? You should make the laws then, because they have their own.
I eat meat.
Interesting ways of.
I eat meat. That's my law.
So you're.
I eat red meat twice a week, and if I don't, I get grumpy.
I get grumpy. Anyway.
This is me not grumpy.
You don't want to see him grumpy.
Yeah, but
there's like the Hulk, but not nearly as bad.
I will say this, okay? There's people who complain on both sides about Israel and Palestine. And meanwhile, like, we act like for the last 20 years, we weren't just, like, dropping bombs on people like we're playing fucking Pong.
Whack-a-mole.
It's literally just people with joysticks, and they're like, is that the thing?
Some of them.
Beep.
Yeah, I know.
Bing, bang, bong.
With the...
There goes a whole elementary school of Israeli or Muslim children. We don't pick on the Israelis, but a lot of Muslims get the
brunt.
Get the wrath of God, as they call it.
Yeah. Okay, back to...
I just thought that was the non-controversial break. Because some of these...
We don't have an opinion on it. What do you think about Israel and Palestine? No comment.
Well, some of these movies...
They're both pretty bad.
Some of these movies discussions can get people a little hot under the collar, so you got to kind of give them a little break.
Okay. I didn't know that.
We'll talk about religions next.
Yeah.
It's the fish one.
Yeah. Please look that up and comment, because I've never heard of it.
What did you call the people who eat fish but not meat?
Pescatorian.
I've never fucking... That's not a word.
Have you heard of Pisces? You know what Pisces means? Okay, that's where it's from.
Well, okay. Can I say this?
You could say it. It's going to be stupid.
We might be delving into controversy here, and I actually do apologize. People who believe in horoscopes are the worst kind of people in the world. They're like con men, but they don't actually get...
What does that have to do with people who eat fish and vegetables?
Pisces that's a sign.
Okay, but...
It's a zodiac sign.
I know.
Well, I'm saying...
Pescatarian. I said it wrong.
Is it
I have to
combine
vegetarianism with seafood and fish while excluding red meat and poultry.
So wait, they do eat seafood and fish, or they don't?
They do. So they're a vegetarian, and they also eat seafood and fish.
That's the gayest way to get... Honestly, I might have changed my mind on that.
You like
I think vegetarians are less gay than the people who... they give themselves a cop-out. Don't give me logic if you're like, I'm not eating cows or chickens.
I just say I'm an omnivore.
They're very mistreated. What should we do with them, big guy? Should have them all in our backyards. That's what we should do with cows and chickens.
Yeah.
What do you give a fuck?
If you ever saw them, listen,
It's bad, I know. But don't look at it.
I know.
Look away.
Don't go to a meat processing plant, for the love of God. You'll never eat meat again.
Yeah, or at least for a couple days.
They pick them up with like front end loaders.
I've seen that. Yeah, I like the hoof doctor on YouTube. He takes care of the hooves of the cows because they get like.
I've actually been watching this YouTube. It's not a channel. It's just like a variety of, and I watch those all the time, where they're
carving the hoof
I don't
down.
know why
it's addicting to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole time that we're discussing this movie, I'll just have that playing. It's just
hoof cleaning.
Hoof cleaning, yeah.
I call it hoofing.
There's something about that that's mesmerizing.
It is. So, but
Silence of the Lambs. I will give you the lead is not the most.
I didn't like her.
Yeah, I don't even think you have
I think it was because of her
I'll
stupid
concede that. Her
accent.
West Virginian accent. Well, that's why it's so great when Anthony Hopkins says you talk like an idiot. It's like, you sound uncultured and you're an FBI agent. I'm smarter than you and I'm behind bars. How does that work? You know?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so cultured. I'm so cultured. I eat brains. You know? Which you shouldn't do, because apparently you can get
parasites.
The neurons in brain can give you the symptoms of mad cow disease. That's actually how cows get mad cow.
It's from eating human brains?
Is from eating cow brains.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what happens to cow?
The
They eat human
eating,
brains.
I don't know if it's neurons or it's the things that the passageways in your brain, synapse, whatever. Yeah, eating those and having like a large collection in your body will fry your brain for whatever reason. I think the proteins kind of accumulate in your brain and can cause misfiring in your active synapses, which is interesting, and that's why cannibals are
Crazy.
yeah, for lack of a better term. Yeah, I think it's. I don't know if we ever actually meet legitimate cannibals. There's some on the Discovery Channel that they've like interviewed. They just drink blood. They never show them like carving up a human, which that's a cannibal.
I say BS on that.
But yeah, if you're ever like in the Alps, one of those gay soccer teams that have to.
Okay, that was not in the Alps.
Did they sleep with each other? I don't know.
No.
You're a rugby team and you got too grab-assy and the plane went down. You should sue, but before you get to that point...
It wasn't the Alps. You're not even in the right hemisphere. It was in South America.
Well,
okay?
The one I watched, I think, was the Alps.
What team was it?
Argentina? Chile?
Why would they be in the Alps?
Where's the Alps? Sweden? Switzerland? Why would they be... I'm sorry. Oh, God. Sometimes I amuse myself.
Famous story. It's in South America. I don't know if it's Peru.
Why would they be in the Alps? Maybe they had a World Cup. I don't know.
So they thought they'd fly over the largest mountain range in the world, as opposed to going around it.
How else do you get to Switzerland?
There's probably like 1,000. You know what? There's so many planes.
They're surrounded by.
No, they're not. They're not.
Well, what mountain range is the Andes? Yeah. Is that the one? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's the Andes. You act like, dude, people who know the names of mountains, it's a little gay.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little...
I feel really gay knowing a few basic...
Name 5.
Mountain ranges?
I bet you could. Appalachian. Yeah, I was going to say that. Mount Everest.
That's not a mountain range.
Kilimanjaro.
That's not a mountain range.
I'm talking mountains.
Oh, Mount McKinley.
Vesuvius? Mount Vesuvia?
Vesuvius blew up.
Vesuvius, yes.
You remember that's a famous thing?
Yes.
Pompeii.
I've heard of it.
There's no mount there anymore. It blew up.
What's the weather like in Pompeii?
Humid.
Where is it there?
It's somewhere, like it's an island off the coast of Italy.
Oh, okay. Very rich culture. Yeah. So, lava actually does make the dirt very fertile.
Yeah, I know.
That's why Hawaii's so green.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just waiting for that whole island to be exploded.
Really?
Yellowstone, too.
Yeah, no, Yellowstone.
That's like a world-ending...
Whatever. I don't know.
Calderon?
No.
Cauldron?
No, it's like a Spanish word. It means basically cauldron, I think.
Huh.
You ever heard
Calderono?
Calder.
Well, on that note, I do like... Oh, I watched a good documentary.
Caldera.
I watched a good documentary by Werner Herzog, one of my faves. I would say if I had a director who would be my spirit animal, it'd be Werner. He made a cool one called Volcano that is just interesting. He gets really close to active volcanoes. There's another one that came out around the same time period. It was about a couple who also studied volcanoes, and they ended up perishing because they were too close and got hit by some of when it just spews out bits of lava, but doesn't. That one, I don't know if that's good or not, but I would check out Werner Herzog's, whatever it's called. I'll put it up now. Anywho, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about how great Anthony Hopkins' performance was in Silence of the Lambs. I don't think you can dispute that. I understand.
No, I can't.
He wasn't in the movie a long time, but in the words of George Strait, I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time. And he was.
Yeah.
He was. 18 minutes on the
shortest, dot. Right, to get
the Oscar.
Yeah.
I think with I am deeply interested in behavioral analysis, the FBI, because of Mindhunter. I think I watched it again after having seen Mindhunter, and I really appreciated it.
Boy, I'm disappointed they're not remaking that. Or not continuing that.
Yeah, I know. I made a video about how great that show was.
I don't get it.
And no one watched it.
Thank
Fuckers. What are you watching, Kai Cenat? Watch
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, you dinguses. Check that video out, especially if you like Mindhunter. So yeah, I like the police procedural when it comes to like profile on people. I think it's better done when Will Graham is the conduit. So Red Dragon and Manhunter is Will Graham is the main guy.
Right.
The character Will Graham. I like that, but there's something to be said about.
Well, listen. The Silence of the Lambs, like the title. Mm-hmm. I didn't.
You just don't like the title, huh?
Well, I don't quite. I knew they murdered the lambs, right? Because she was living with her
She lived on like a farm, yeah.
Okay, whatever. When she told the story, it didn't make sense, and I guess if I think about it, it kind of does. But
yeah, I mean
that they were all dead then, I guess, because they were silent, right?
I thought it was like the lambs waiting for slaughter don't. Like
when did they do that?
I guess they were so terrified that they were silent. I don't even remember the story.
So
I could
there's
be
no
butchering
symbolism
that.
at all.
Well, I thought it was that.
And her explaining that in that accent, I wanted to release Anthony Hopkins to like cut her tongue out.
He gets out at the end too, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
And the way he does it is pretty brilliant.
I can't remember how he did it.
Well, he cuts one of the guy's faces off and wears it.
Oh, didn't they have him in a cage in a gym somewhere or something?
Yeah, and he got a ballpoint pen, so he had a weapon on him in that cage.
Come on, man. Literally. This guy is so dangerous. I mean...
Well, he lifted it.
Slide it under... I don't even get into the cage with the guy. Ever. Don't go in the cage. How do we feed him? Throw food under a 2-inch gap of the metal bars and the metal floor of the place we have him stored.
Yeah, but you're kind of rooting. Maybe this is just me. I was
through the bars.
I was kind of rooting for him. That's no way to treat an animal. He's not an animal. He's a human being.
I don't know. So
that's another Anthony Hopkins line from Elephant Man, directed by
Werner Herzog.
David Lynch.
Very
good.
Yep. It's right there.
Yeah, I was rooting for him to get out. He's the best character, clearly. The guy who runs that jail or prison.
All right,
is
granted, we don't like
too.
him. Yeah, he's a dickhead. But he kills everybody. He's just a fucking...
He's like an apex predator. He is the next line in evolution. He's super smart. Well, I guess he's like what...
Pathological. He's a psychopath.
He's superhuman. At least in the literature.
In intellectual way. I actually read the book that had talked about his upbringing.
What's that called?
I don't remember what it's called. I don't know if it was his stepmother or someone who like raised him. He loved her. She was Japanese and she was real.
He doesn't even look Japanese in the movies.
Well, he's not Japanese.
Oh, his mother was a stepmother.
Yeah, or I don't know if she was...
She wasn't his mother, but she was the mother who stepped up, I think is how that saying goes.
No, that doesn't. You might be right. I doubt it. Because this never happened.
Well, that's what they say about step-parents.
Yeah. So, anyway, she's Japanese and very elegant type and really beautiful.
Racist?
Say elegant? Yeah, I know. People hate when you call
about
them
the Japanese,
that.
though. Yeah.
Somebody called me like sophisticated once. I was so pissed.
Well, it's because of your Polish upbringing.
I'm for Polish royalty.
I'm a Polish genius the retard said in special ed class, which isn't a class. But I'm Polish, so I'm allowed to make that joke, and it's wrong because
You're Polish.
I'm Polish.
Yeah.
It could have been worded better.
Way better.
Yeah.
But they almost understood it.
Like...
But
Well,
anyway,
what else
and
did
then
you like?
everybody was like abusing her because they lived, I don't know, they lived in Slovakia or something, and
That's...
he killed people when he was a kid, and I don't know. I did actually like it as I was reading it, but as I recall it, it wasn't, like if you try to explain it to somebody, they would say, "What? Why did you read that? It sounds so dull and stupid."
Yeah. Whereas the movie is not.
No, but we gave enough time, right? I mean, I understand. I think my big thing was I
You
did
didn't
not
like-
like her.
Yeah.
I didn't like her.
She's
at
better
all.
in Taxi Driver than she is in this.
Okay, she was like 8 when she did that. Okay, she wasn't really an actress.
Well, you know what?
I don't know if I could say that role was great. She played
Who's the chick from
most
Black Swan?
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. She is good in...
Black Swan.
No, what's the movie? Leon the Professional. And she's like 12. Which is...
But she
You
was
can't
like
be
a co-lead in that movie.
You can be a child and a star. But
I
not
agree,
a child
I agree,
star.
but
You can do it
Jodie
in
Foster was, I mean, she really wasn't, wasn't in the movie that much.
Yes. But, well, I'm saying she was better in that movie than in this movie.
Oh, okay. I guess. All right, so...
What's her best role? I don't know what her best role is.
I don't think she's that great of an actress, personally.
She's a little bit wooden. Would you agree not?
Yeah, have you seen the new True Detective?
I haven't seen her season.
I guess it's not all that.
So I was like, the last
The
season
second
I
one
saw
was so bad.
first season
horrifically
is
bad.
masterful.
Yes.
5 out of 5.
Yes.
One of the best seasons of television. 2, very not good.
I don't know what...
Only thing it had going is it had a Heat style shootout in one of the episodes, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, do that.
Well, they would have had to do that every episode if that was
it's
to
like
be
you
good.
didn't care what was going on. You didn't...
I'm a Vince Vaughn fan, and I was like, I gotta distance myself from you, big guy. I texted him.
Third, he
I
never
told him,
gets
I'm
back
like-
to me, man. Hey, third was good, I thought.
I watched that, yeah. Third
thought that
was
was
good.
good.
It was not to the heights of the first, but
No,
very
it was good. It was
a
it's a
rebound.
worthwhile, yeah.
And it sounds like the fourth was
I'm not sure. I can't
not
say
as
that
good
it
as
was
the third.
I can't say it was bad because I don't know. But I think I read it wasn't. No, Jodie Foster's in it. That's why I bring that up.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Buffalo Bill, I think we should at least touch upon him. He is creepy as all hell. He is very close to how creepy Red Dragon is in Manhunter.
I think he's creepier.
You need.
I think he's... No, he has less screen time.
Yeah.
But you thought, this is the craziest person I've ever seen portrayed on screen. I swear. I thought he was so nuts.
Second to Nicolas Cage in Long Legs.
Yeah, okay.
Because he was a fucking nutcut in that one. When he's
Dad,
in the
that
car,
weird guy's in here again.
when he's in the car by himself screaming,
Yeah.
"Mommy! Daddy!" I love that. People were like, it's a little over the top. I'm like, dude,
That's what he was.
that's what I want from Nick Cage.
He was a supernatural.
Yeah. But Buffalo Bill, for like a normal person, that is as weird as you can go, where it's believable, but you're still like, dude, that is horrific.
Dude, he would kill forever.
And you're saying put
He would
the
make-
lotion on the skin? Like, I still quote that to this day.
That's a famous... Well, think about it. It's a famous quote from that movie. That might be the most famous one, right?
Well, Anthony Hopkins had his liver with a side of fava beans, which apparently there is some Easter eggs in that. A nice Chianti and fava beans. Apparently, you have to be like a fucking, I don't even know, like a sleuth, an internet sleuth. They showed one of his antipsychotics, and those distinct foods will interact with it. Like, you either can't take it or it interacts where it like basically neutralizes that
Okay,
medication.
okay.
Where he's trying to communicate very subvert or not
Subconsciously?
maybe to what's her face that hey, I'm not on my meds, like, and I'm dangerous.
Oh.
Kind of
Okay.
the showing of his teeth a little bit to her, like,
Yeah.
don't fuck with me, lady. You know, but he also has like manners too. When the one guy threw his unfortunate,
Gassed her. They call it gassing, I think.
that's fucked.
Spermatoza.
Yeah, that was rough. I think I would probably quit.
She probably should, expect that, Life's
Well,
hard.
yeah, that it would. I'm never gonna walk into a prison for that, and I'm a man. So,
Yeah, what happened to you? Well, I got a bunch of sperm in my hair.
don't you hate when that happens?
I'm going to have to wash my hair, I guess.
You know, sometimes that scene's a comedy, sometimes that scene's horrific. This was
This was both.
yeah.